All right, boys and girls, today we're going to use the reading strategy of accuracy. I can read the words. Remember, reading accurately is very important to practice and to be able to understand those strategies so when you come to an unknown word, you're able to understand how to read that word. There's a new type of word that I would like to show you today. The words are called contractions, and you may have heard of this word and you may even know some examples. But this week I want us to dig deeper into contractions. What do these words really mean and how do they help us become better readers? That's what we're going to find out today, and we're going to use and practice this week during our reading rounds. All right. We're going to watch a short clip on Brain Pop Jr. about contractions. Let's listen.
Moby, didn't you read the sign? Please don't touch. That's a contraction. A contraction is a word formed by combining two or more words, leaving out sounds or letters. We use contractions all the time when we speak. They're faster and easier to say. How do you form a contraction? The word don't is a contraction for do not. First, combine do not.
Okay, look what they did. They had the words do and then not, and now they're going to combine the do not. Next, they're going to take out the letter O, but pay attention to the one that they take out.
And take out the O. Then you add an apostrophe, which is a kind of punctuation mark.
And pay attention to what they just said. This is an apostrophe. It's not down on the ground. It's up in the air where the missing letter or sounds were.
The apostrophe in a contraction tells you where the missing letters or sounds are. So, do not becomes don't. You can do the same things to change could not to couldn't, is not to isn't, did not to didn't, and have not to haven't.
Now look at what she just did to form the not contractions. She took the words could not and made, right, couldn't. Then she took is not and made, isn't. Then she took did not and made, didn't. Then she took have not and made, haven't. Now, what letter went missing on each one? You're right, the letter O.
But the contraction for will not doesn't follow the pattern. Its contraction is won't. As in, I won't tell anyone you touch the blocks. What are contractions with am, are, and is? It sure is cold outside. I am drinking hot cocoa. You can change I am to a contraction by combining the words, dropping the A, and adding an apostrophe. I'm drinking hot cocoa. You are eating warm soup. You can turn you are into a contraction. You're eating warm soup. Mia is making tea. This sentence can change to Mia's making tea. Hey, let's play in the snow. What are contractions that use have, has, and had? You have made one snowball. You can turn you have into a contraction. Combine the words, drop the letters HA, and add an apostrophe to form you've. You've made one snowball. Hey! You should have ducked. You can change should have into a contraction. You should have ducked. You had better watch out. You had can form the contraction you'd. You'd better watch out. Hey, who threw that? Uh-oh. Mia has made a bunch of snowballs. You can turn Mia has into a contraction. Mia's made a bunch of snowballs. Some contractions look the same. Well, the contractions in these two sentences look similar, but they mean different things. She's on the phone. When you read a contraction, try breaking it apart. It doesn't make sense to say, she has on the phone. She is on the phone. There are a lot of blocks to set back up. Don't worry, Moby. You will do it in a snap. I can change you will to a contraction. You'll do it in a snap. Oops, it's important to proofread and make sure you put the apostrophe in the right place.
Did you see what she just did? The apostrophe went after the L, and that was a mistake. Remember, the apostrophe goes where the letters went missing and were taken away. All right, since we've done the introduction to contractions, I thought it would be really neat for us to incorporate some music and some different activities on contractions. Pay attention to what we're going to be doing.
So contractions are two words that are put together. However, when they're put together, some of the letters are left out.
Okay, pay attention. What happens when you have contractions? You have two words that you put together, and some letters are left out.
When you write a contraction, you use an apostrophe. And the apostrophe takes the place of all of the letters or letter that gets left out. For example, could not can be written a little bit shorter by combining them together and making the contraction couldn't.
Now remember, we talked about this earlier with Brain Pop Jr. with Moby. There's the word not. So when you see those two words, you know that you can put them together to make a contraction. And we also talked about what pattern, what letter was missing. It was the vowel letter O. Okay, now we're going to listen to a song, and we're actually going to look at the words in this song, and we're going to identify the contractions in the song. Remember, contractions can be in books, they can be on posters like Moby had on his sign that said, "Please don't touch," and in music. So now that you're aware of contractions, I want you to be looking for them. So let's listen to the song and pay attention to the words. Okay, now make sure you pay attention. It said, how many contractions can you find?
Her eyes like the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah, I know, I could watch her all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates, but I think it's so funny. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I'd never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. Girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are.
All right, I know that you saw many contractions in this song, and I wanted to bring your attention back to the word cause. Do you see this apostrophe here? A lot of times we say because, but in this case we took off the word be and replaced it with an apostrophe. All right, now boys and girls, here's what you're going to do today. We've talked about contractions, so I would like you to do this worksheet. What you're going to do is you are going to take the worksheet and you are going to watch them bloom into contractions. All right, for example, you see on the leaf here you have the word he, and then on the other leaf you have the word will. So in the middle of your flower, you're going to replace the letters with an apostrophe, and then you'll have the word he'll. Like he will go to the store, so the contraction would be he'll go to the store. So you're going to practice on the words that have will in them. Then you're going to practice on the words that have with them. And you're going to have the contraction with the word is and are. And that most famous word, would. Okay, contractions are blooming worksheet. You're going to write the correct contraction inside each flower. Remember, contractions. I can read the words. Now that you know what a contraction is, after you do your worksheet, I would like you to practice finding contractions within your reading rounds. Whether it's read to someone or read to self, or even when you work on writing. you'll notice contractions.